Hello, I'm Logue, and this is Let's Talk Consciousness. And it has been a while since I posted anything, so to any of my subscribers who have wondered where I've gone, thanks for having the patience. And if you've clicked on this, thanks for keeping with me. I did, a couple of things have happened, but I did take a break, mainly. I don't know if I mentioned this in one of the short videos I did after this happened, but I did lose my job and found another job and then found yet another job, and it was kind of a weird experience, and it kind of distracted me from posting anything, but it has actually given me something to post about, so it's definitely made me want to come back. And you may have also noticed that I lost the beard. I just get bored with it every once in a while and get rid of it. But anyway, so part of this is a channel update, and the main thing would be is I am going to continue making these videos, and I also feel like I'm kind of turning a corner because I had this distinct decision that for as much as I've posted about conspiracy theory subjects in the past, I've kind of come around to the idea that I don't really want to dwell on those things. Um, Part of it is, and I've said this in previous videos, I've put the idea there, but I wasn't quite ready to follow through on it, which is that if, as I've said countless times, if consciousness is the source of all that we experience, and it is manifested from you and hinges on your state of mind or your quality of consciousness, hence everything that's happening to you is a reflection of that state of consciousness. What then happens if you feed it a diet of, negative news, entertainment, truther channels, whatever it is, music. There's just this aggregate of kind of junk food that gets in there, and for as much as I can enjoy those things, I think I finally started to see the utility in looking away from them. In particular with conspiracy theories, I don't mean just completely turning a blind eye, but understanding that when you get into a cycle of just seeing, updates on the same stories all the time, one, it's probably not something that you're contributing to a whole lot. I mean, yes, disclosing it is important, to the extent that these things can be disclosed, but to be in that state of mind all the time, I just don't think it's beneficial. I think it kind of drains. I mean, not everybody may react the same way, but that's my experience with it. Is that I started to feel better as I make a conscious effort to choose things that make me happy, and understanding that those things exist, but just not dwelling on them, and staying, kind of informed on a more, less routine basis. Just checking up on these things once in a while, just to kind of stay in the loop, but not making it your life. So the job change thing, as far as that tying into it, and it's been interesting. I feel like I had this lesson repeated for me in kind of a tight loop because I wasn't getting the message the first time, and I think that is also a kind of quality of consciousness being the whole thing behind the show. That if there is a lesson you're supposed to learn in a kind of set of circumstances, that it tends to repeat itself if you don't pick up the lesson. So my lesson is listening to my internal sense of guidance, and a lot of people have different takes on that, but whatever their gut feeling, if you want to call it that, intuition, you want to be more metaphysical about it. You could say higher consciousness, or your higher self, or guides, or source, whatever you want to say. But having the patience to listen, and then when you feel like you really hear it, to actually follow through on the guidance and not just dismiss it because you might want something more immediately. So I started trying that and seeing, what kind of fruit does it bear, and it actually worked out in an interesting way. I'll try to keep this brief, but basically with the job I had, I was ignoring pretty clear signs that it was not a good fit for me, and kind of deteriorating in my performance, and just understanding that this is all kind of going downhill, and I need to start looking for other jobs that excite me more, and that obviously it would be just better off for everyone. But I refused to listen to that call and just kind of went down with the ship, and it tears a lot of your self-esteem away, and just it feels awful, that process of just doing the wrong thing, and kind of on a deep level knowing you're doing the wrong thing. So when I was looking for another job, I had two companies to choose between. And again, on some level, feeling this kind of excitement about one opportunity, and then also kind of understanding that I was not listening to my guidance. Like the things I was kind of listing off of certain qualities that I would want in a company, I was kind of ignoring that over other aspects that were more exciting. It was kind of a younger, hipper company to work for. Anyway, so I let kind of ego make the decision. A month in, I realized this is not a good fit for me, and it was kind of like on a similar trajectory. Like it was going to get bad, and then just deteriorate. So I made the decision to go to the other opportunity and basically reach out and to let that employer know like this is not going to work, and be really kind about it, and not be thankful for the opportunity, but just make the kind of grown up decision to understand what was going on and act accordingly. So I think that there was a level on which there was all sorts of guidance kind of nudging me in that direction that I was finally willing to listen to. And it was just odd how it manifested in this perfect alternate opportunity. Like I didn't even understand what I was saying no to in that kind of fork in the road where I chose the wrong one. I didn't understand what I was really saying no to. I ended up taking that job, and a month later, I've come to learn that in so many ways it was exactly what I was hoping to find, which was, I work in insurance, and it's not something that's like my deepest passion, but I have an aptitude for it, and in some ways you can kind of draw meaningful things out of it. I mean, particularly when you help people that have a kind of devastating catastrophe in their lives, and you were there to have something that bailed them out, basically, particularly when it comes to life insurance and people passing away. But my point is, it's maybe not my deepest creative passion, but it's just where I'm at right now in terms of what I feel I'm capable of, I guess, in terms of feeling you're worthy of these kind of amazing career paths that you in your own mind talk yourself out of. Like insurance is where I've reached a comfort level, I guess. I'm trying to work my way out of it. But my point is, all these things that I kind of felt would be like the right kind of place to work for, I didn't even understand that it ultimately ended up where I was led to when I just listened to the still quiet voice. So I'll wrap it up there just to say thank you for any subscribers. If you feel compelled to hit like, I appreciate it. Comment freely. I tend to respond to all of them if I can. And I'll try to release more videos on a slightly different topic, like all still pertaining to the consciousness, manifesting reality lens. But I've got a different set of topics that I think are probably more productive and a little less, tawdry and negative, like the former conspiracy stuff that I've done. So, a big thank you, and be well.